Alright, what's happening, plebs? We're out here with a ban list prediction, wish list kind of thing, and it's almost Worlds, so nobody gives a fuck anymore. There's YCS Rimini in exactly a month, I think, month and a bit. So there's probably going to be a ban list before then. I don't know. We might still play the same format. That'd be kind of stupid from Konami's part to have us play a national season list for another YCS going into the next season. I don't think that's right at all, especially with the new set and stuff. So there has to be a ban list. I'm thinking like either, I don't know, like probably like end of this month maybe. No. Well, I don't know when Worlds is actually. Probably right after Worlds or something. I don't know. Hopefully they don't follow that same stupid trend of like. Hang on, do I need to turn this volume up? No, it's actually quite fine. Hopefully they don't let us follow that same silly trend that they make us follow of like, oh yeah, sorry, this might like slightly increase and go up now. That same trend of slaughtering every deck at the end of Worlds, because at the end, like, I don't think Worlds lists matter, and I don't think that should influence the ban list at all, because it's a completely different format, like they did with Infernity and Telenites. Well, no, not actually so much Telenites, actually, they hit Rota and that was it. Anyway, so if you've been watching the channel for long enough, you should probably be aware of the fact that the way I see the ban list is a little bit different from most people. Like, I think to go through this, I have like my ideal ban list and then like my realistic ban list. So my ideal ban list, it could literally be summed up in like 30 seconds. I think you should ban every single floodgate and pretty much like most like powerful engine cards like Monkey Board, fucking Aether. Like, just bring the game needs to slow down and power creep needs like tuned completely. That's what I think anyway. But in terms of what we're actually going to get, I don't really know how far Konami are going to go with getting rid of the current stuff like they did with Necros and Shaddolls back in November, because they kind of just hit the reset button on the list, and I don't know if they're going to go through that this time. They might do that, they might not. I don't think they will reset yet. Maybe they might, I don't know. I don't know. I don't think they're going to hit the reset button. And for this list, I think we're going to get probably a really tame list. So I'm thinking like 5 archetypes we have, I guess. So I feel like, they're probably going to hit like, starting with Monarchs. I think Stormforce should go to 1. And I think that's really it. I think the deck is like fine. It's just like these multiple Stormforce Aethers like every turn is what like makes the deck powerful. Maybe put Aether to like 2, so it means they can only like Aether you twice. That's actually still quite a lot and think about it. So maybe like Stormforce to 1, Aether to 1. I think, I don't know. I mean, Stormforce is just so good, but I don't think it should be banned because I feel like Monarchs don't have anything going for them apart from their non-targeted non-destruction tribute, right? Like, Stormforce was like a good card for them. That's how they out like every problem in the game. So I don't feel like Stormforce should be banned per se. I feel like, it's a really powerful card, but 1 is enough. It is pretty unfair, but the fact that it's searchable, I think could be fine at 1. Like, so it's either like ban it or like keep it at 3, and I think 1's fine. So 1 Aether, 1 Stormforce, I think is what I would do to hit Monarchs. I don't really think they need much else. I think the deck is outside of Stormforce is actually kind of fair. Yeah, I don't know. They maybe Kuraz to 1 as well, because like disrupting you like that is like pretty horrible. But then again, if you limit Aether, then like you're not gonna get Aether Kuraz like more than once anyway. If Aether's at 1, so that wouldn't really make sense to hit Kuraz. So I'm gonna go with Aether 1 and Stormforce 1. So yeah, that's that. Next, Burning Abyss. I don't even know, man. Like, that deck's just been around for 2 years. I think they might hit the reset button on Burning Abyss and just straight up like ban Dante or something. Yeah, I don't know. I'd like to see Tour Guide at 3 and just like ban Dante and Seer and Graph, just so like the deck can like, well, just so Tour Guide can be played in like other cool stuff. Like, I'm sure someone could come up with cool stuff to use like Tour Guide in. Like, apart from Burning Abyss, what deck can use Tour Guide like really well? Nothing, I don't think, that comes to mind. So yeah, realistically though, I think they're probably just gonna like maybe just like limit Dante's Seer. I don't know, like surely the deck can't run with more than 1 Dante, man. Like 1 Dante has to be like it. I think, because I don't really personally I don't believe in like just resetting formats like Konami does with like they just wrecked Necros to the point that you can't play them anymore. They wrecked Infinity to the point they can't play anymore. I like decks being playable, just not like, you know, unplayable to like the level of Shaddolls. Like, you know, they banned Construct, and it's like, well, the deck doesn't function without that card anymore. Like, Construct was like the heart and soul of the deck, and that's gone. So, you know, they didn't even like try to do it like, what's the word, incrementally, like limit Shadow Construct or something, and then like go from there kind of thing. They kind of just went pew, like destroy everything. Same with Shrit. People underestimate just how important Shrit is. Is it even in here? Oh, there it is, Shrit. Yeah, so people underestimate just how like important Shrit is to Necros, because like being able to just cycle out cycle Valk or something big from your grave, and then Exomer something big like Trish or Decisive with Exo, like that's like the deck's power play, was being able to just like Shrit being used for that one fodder, and just banning it straight off the bat like made the deck unplayable, because that was like how the deck functioned with its power play. Bryo at one is you know, pretty big as well, getting rid of the searchers. So yeah, if Konami don't have a good track record of hurting things incrementally, so I feel like they're either just going to straight up ban Dante or like ban like Graf and Seer. Like Seer is actually like the big deal. I think I think like Burning Abyss would be less powerful if they had one Seer and two Graf. Graf is like fine, but you only need one. Realistically, you actually only need one Graf. Like you don't really need the second Graf. It's Seer that's super important to keep your loop going. Being able to bring back Dante, rank it up, bring back another Dante, rank it up, etc, etc. That's why Seer is so important in the deck, and I think that if they just ban you could put Dante to... Is Dante even limited? Semi-limited? For some reason I thought it was at 2. No. Damn it, Dante's at 3 still. So Dante could stay at 3 if they like just ban Seer. If they ban Seer, the deck just can't play anymore. You can't play the deck without Seer, honestly. So I think in a fair hit would be like 1 Seer, 1 Graf, 1 Dante. Maybe not so much. I would go so far as to say Skarm as well, but you know, you could limit Beatrice as well. I don't know if they're willing to limit a card so new, but you know, that could happen. Okay, so Cosmo, just Dart Destroyer, honestly. Like just ban Dart Destroyer, or Tin Can maybe. I don't know. One of those needs to like go. Definitely, probably Dart Destroyer. I don't actually mind Tin Can that much, but really Dart Destroyer needs to go. Just untargeted, like very ignorant card, inhibits card design. It's just extremely ignorant. Like it's such an ignorant card, and obviously being like searchable off Tin Can, like Tin Can being able to fill up your graveyard and stuff, like makes Call of Haunted and Oasis like super powerful. So Tin Can's like super good, being able to resolve it on either player's turn. But I quite like Tin Can because it is quite slow. I just, you know, I think Dart Destroyer would be the better hit. What's left? Pendulums. Pendulums is a weird one. Pendulums are very weird, because I do think the deck is like quite good for the game. I feel like Pendulums have generally been fairly skillful mirror matches, apart from Wavering Eyes. So I don't know. It's hard to say. But I think some fair hits would probably be ban Monkey Board, and ban Kirin. Honestly, Kirin is a ridiculous card. Like just. The entire Magispector archetype is in and of itself ridiculous. It's not very good to play right now. It's not like a good deck and our best deck or a contender for that spot. But the fact that like Kirin is like, sorry, the fact that you have a whole archetype that can't be targeted or destroyed is just like ridiculous. Like it's a good thing the deck isn't good, because like, I mean, if there was some other archetypes in the game that were like small or something, like little weenie monsters, and then they relied on targeting to like out opponents' boards, like you can't play, you know. And like Kirin as well is absolutely unbelievable against Burning Abyss. Like try playing through that with Burning Abyss is like, it's a nightmare. It's an absolute nightmare. So Kirin 100% needs banned. Like unquestionably, Kirin should be banned. It's just such like, this is another ignorant card, you know, untargetable, and can't be destroyed. You can run over it, sure, but you know, I don't think that's like the greatest like fucking thing ever. Like, oh, I can run over it. Ooh, that's got bright. So what have we got? I did BA, Monarch, Cosmo, Pendulum. I feel like there's one more deck somewhere. Oh yeah, demise. Just demise variants in general. Like floodgates in general should just be removed from the game. I just hate like all of them. Like just flip a card, win the game potentially. Like and demise just facilitates that playstyle very very much. So I'd like to see like demise just straight up banned. And if you want to keep demise around, honestly, like if you keep demise, just like ban everything else. Like that is shit with it. Like just ban every floodgate in the game. Rivalry goes in, lose a turn, emptiness, skill drain, soul drain, everything, just like every floodgate that just doesn't let you play it, just ban it, please. And I think that's really it. But like the easy thing to do would probably, I would honestly say, I think ban demise and maybe limit strike. So back row decks could like mini back row decks. You could still have like warning, scolding, strike, one of each, so that's 3 solemns. I think that would be fine, but like strike is super good, particularly against pendulums, and that's I think where it's really fair, because it's like strike could like be, you could play like 5 strike against monarchs and it wouldn't fucking matter. You could play like that many strikes against burning abyss and it wouldn't fucking matter. You play like 1 strike against pendulum and like you can just lose the game, you know what I mean? So it's really strange situation because of the disparity between how powerful strike is against multiple decks. So I think for generally for the ban list, I think it should be at like 1 perhaps. It is extremely good that way, but then again, I really don't like the idea of unsearchable cards being super powerful, like E-Telly for example, because it can really fuck over mirror matches. Like for example, it's Saki top decks. E-Telly is a very good example of that, where if it's at 3 you can actively play around it, but if it's at 1 it's like my opponent might have it and then I'll just lose there and then, just based off of pure ripping off the top of the deck. Same case with Raigeki. I'd like Raigeki banned and Dark Hole put to 3, I think would be better. What else could come back? So yeah, that's the meta done. Section 2 now. Things that could come back. Did I say Raigeki or adjustments for the current stuff? So Raigeki needs like banned, I think. Put Dark Hole to 3, I think would be fine, because then it's a bit of a double-edged sword, because like you might have a board up at the same time, because there's too many times where you have a big board and your opponent has like just like maybe like 2 little guys you can't get through or something like that, or maybe you have game if you can get through 1 extra monster and you just drop like rip the Raigeki, drop on the table, and like okay, that was fair. It's very like terrible that way. I don't like it. What else? Ptolemaeus, probably not. Chicken Game, honestly I like Chicken Game and field spell decks and stuff. I think Chicken Game should come back. I think Chicken Game is fine at 3. It's just like Magical Explosion. Just why is that card still around? Like why are Konami so against hitting Magical Explosion, but like why go these roundabout routes to like ban cards like Chicken Game when they could just like hit the problem like root of the cause? You know what I mean? Like if I'm like at a doctor's, I don't get given like 30 plasters or something to like cover up a stab wound or something, you know what I mean? They just stitch it up. They go to the root problem, right? And like I don't understand how Magical Explosion hasn't been dealt with. Like why hit Chicken Game? Why hurt decks that can take advantage of it with like terraformings? Because there's a lot of field spell decks, right? And if you play lots of terraformings, it means you can play like Chicken Game, like draw a card, and then play your like Sky Iris over it or something like that, for example, right? So decks that rely on field spells could play terraforming. They could play like the Chicken Games. I thought that was really cool interaction. Konami obviously disagree. Ptolemaeus, I think I kind of said that it's mostly just Infinity, but like because Infinity isn't in and of itself extremely powerful. I think if it could get things like Pleiades and Tiras and all these other things, that'd be fine. But it's the fact that it gets Infinity is crazy. Then again, you could just argue that why not just ban Infinity, and I think that's a very good point you make. I think that's it. What else? I mean, I would like Construct back at 1. I would like Shred back at 1. Boo, I don't see anything here. Disc Commander, people always talked about that quite a lot. I think I could probably come back. Zemighty could probably come back. Maybe even fucking Gateway. Heavy Storm is something I want to talk about, because like people always bring this up. Like every single ban list, every single list, people are like, Heavy should come back, Heavy should come back, Heavy should come back. Like, this is the issue, right? I've said this many times, and I give this example very quickly. Heavy Storm, because of the power creep, because of the speed of the game today, because of how powerful our archetypes are today, because of how good the decks are, it doesn't actually matter how many back row you set. If you're just going to die on the turn, you get heavied. So if I set 5, sure, you could say it's like very ignorant and unfair, you don't need to think, you just kind of set your traps and go for it. Yeah, to an extent that's true, but the decks generally these days are able to play through lots of back row because of how strong they are, and that's why back row decks have been fizzling out of the meta for the last 2 years or something. So the thing is though, if you heavy someone, you're just going to win on that turn. That's the issue. It doesn't matter if you have 5 back row or 20 traps set. You could have 20 traps set. The moment I activate Heavy Storm, because you're not just going to heavy for no reason, like Heavy Storm pass, you're not going to do that. If you activate Heavy Storm, it means you're going for a big push. If you're going for a big push, you're going to activate Heavy Storm and you're going to go for game. And that's the problem with Heavy Storm today, is because it's so easy to just go for game at any stage of the game today. Like, that's the thing, like because of the power creep, any deck is able to just OTK. Like, Monarchs can just like summon Aether and then like summon Prime from the grave and then like make a Shark Fortress or something like that and attack for game. Cosmo, I don't even need to tell you, like that deck can like do 20,000 damage on board easily. Pendulums, of course, very easy. It would kind of hurt Pendulums because you'd be blowing up your own scales as well, which I think would be kind of fair or whatever, but yeah. But anyway, so yeah, Heavy can't come back for that reason. What else is there? I think Monster Reborn could probably come back. It's a bit of a sacky top deck maybe, but like, I mean, bringing back a free monster in like a format that's been floating for 2 years, is it really that good? Maybe not. I don't think so. Avarice, maybe. I've been on the ropes with this quite a lot. I'm not sure. Snatch Steal, definitely not. Definitely not. Then again, like, what's the difference between Snatch Steal and Monster Reborn? Like, that's kind of dumb of me. Probably not Monster Reborn. I've always said Judgment could come back to 3 if they ban Jowgen, honestly. Super Poly is fine apart from that can't respond to thing. I think that's really dumb. Like, Super Spell Speed 4 is just so stupid. Wavering Eye is definitely not, please not. Everything else here is just really dumb. Diva is like weird because I don't know, I feel like Diva should just go to like 3 or 0. Like, why have it at 1? Archfiend definitely come back to 3. No bias there. Dragonfly probably stay at 1, but like Hornet definitely go to 3. Mathematician is like my favorite card ever. Like, I think that card should be at 3 because it's just like not generic. It's generic. It's like unsearchable. It's just a really good card that just helps like decks. Like, you know, just any deck can like probably just play like 3 math, and it's just like so cool. You know, it's like it's a slow card. It sets you up, and I think it's the definition of what Yu-Gi-Oh should be, which is like just really good individual cards instead of archetypes. Nothing really particularly jumps out at me here. Bottomless could probably go to 2 as well as TT. Honest could probably go to 3. Allure, probably 3. Ravine, definitely 3. E-Telly, like, should probably just be banned in my opinion. Summoner Monk, I don't know, is there a specific reason why this card's at 2 and not like, I don't understand, like, is it because you can go like Monk, 4th monster or something? I don't really understand. Trooper, I guess, is at 2 because of Machine Dupe, I guess. Yeah, alright. I guess that really much does it for everything. I think that's everything I wanted to say. Thanks for coming out and tuning in. Sorry I've been away for a while. If you've watched this far, I mean, hashtag dicks out for the ban list in the description. That's hashtag dicks out for the ban list in the description. If you've watched this far, thank you for joining me, and yeah, let me know what you think. Do you agree with most of what I said or anything I've said wrong, etc, etc. And that's me signing out, so see you guys next time.